Why did I decide to leave everything in New York City and go on the road with a theater touring company? And how am I doing a year and a half later? Would I recommend this lifestyle to you or to anybody that I love? What are the pros and cons of this decision that I've made? If you want to know the answers to all of those questions that I just said, stick around because I have a full breakdown for you coming. And I even brought some friends along with me on the ride. All right, y'all, I'm Tish Ferguson. I'm a makeup artist, and here we talk about matters of the heart, matters of the mind, and matters of the Holy Spirit. I have had the pleasure of being on the road with a Broadway touring company for the last maybe 15 months. A little bit before that, I left New York to go start up The Outsiders in La Jolla, San Diego. So I put everything into a storage unit probably about a year and a half ago as we post this video now. And there is so much that I've learned along the way. I've made twists and turns and pivots in my career because you can go to tishferguson.com and see all of the things that I've accomplished, but I've come from reality television, music videos, I've worked with record labels, I've done red carpets, I worked for HBO, MTV, all the things. I'm a Broadway makeup designer. I'm a makeup supervisor for the Wicked Broadway touring company. And I've also served as the makeup supervisor for Beetlejuice on Broadway, as well as associate makeup designer for Beetlejuice national tour, first national tour. So there was a time in my career where I had to make a pivot if I wanted to have some type of longevity in my career. I always wanted to be in musical theater, even as a kid. And so when the opportunity came for me to work a regional production of Hairspray, I took the leap. When I was walking through that theater doing that regional production, I remember learning about theater tours. That was the first time I learned about theater tours. And I wanted one so bad. So that might have been about almost 7 years ago. And what I did was, it was something that I put on a vision board, and I just kept dreaming for it. And I just kept working for it, working towards it. But I had no idea what to expect when this was something that I was dreaming of and wanting to manifest, right? And so this video, I want to give you the tools to be able to make a decision for yourself from people who are actually living this life in real time and what it looks like. Now, every theater touring company looks different, every schedule looks different, but I have the pleasure of being able to have long sit downs in different cities and be able to explore, as well as be able to work in different environments with different types of people from all parts of the country. And it's been an absolute pleasure. Every single local that I've met along the way, and all of the people that have been able to see this show and see my work on this stage, like, it has been an absolute pleasure to be able to have such a job and be able to display my gifts. And so I have my notes right here. So if you see me looking down, I'm just keeping it real. I got my notes. And so I let you know what parts of the industry that I've worked in. But there are 3 things that have helped me on the road that could have hurt me. This is something big that I really love to talk about when it comes to being able to turn something that was meant to harm you or something that could harm you and turning it into something for your good. And so the first thing would be being away from your family and friends, having this life of isolation. So from the naked eye, it looks like you're isolated, that you're out there in the wilderness. And at times it feels that way, right? And at times it can feel so debilitating. The isolation can feel so debilitating that all you're doing is going to work. You're just doing what you have to do to get by. What I learned and how I turned it into something that would benefit me is that I created a life for myself. I was able to start exploring things. My therapist calls it individuation. That is the clinical term, where because I was set apart from my family, from my friends, from an environment that I am used to, I was able to walk into my full self. So I didn't have obligations to show up for people because I'm not in the region. I'm nowhere near. So I'm not showing up for birthday parties. I'm not showing up for whatever big occasions that you would normally be expected to show up for. I'm able to have extra time for myself and for me to really cultivate who I am. And there's so many ways of doing that. And I'm gonna share with you my friend Paulie Sparkle. He's on the MJ tour, and I'm gonna share with you what my friend Paul said about what he wished he knew before he went out on tour. We're gonna share this with you right now.
Hi, my name's Paul, and I'm a touring hair and makeup supervisor. I wish someone would have told me when I started touring to get out. Get out. Get out and enjoy the city you're in. It's very easy to stay in your hotel room. It's very easy to make every city all about work, but you gotta get out and enjoy that city you're in. Look around. There's art everywhere. There's life happening all around you, and you really just need to enjoy the city you're in.
I could cry because I miss my friend Paul. I met Paul on Wicked, and when I first started, he really helped usher me in. The job that I do is not easy. I'm also a department of one, and we're gonna talk about that later in this video, but the people that you meet at work can change your life. So even though you might have left your family and your friends, oh my God, I'm getting emotional. This is not gonna be the channel where I'm crying every video, but there is something so magical about being on the road with people that you might have not normally met in the circles that you're in, and getting a little piece of heaven in all of these people that you're meeting that add value to your life. And even though you guys move on to other things, you're left with a piece of them, you know? One thing that people don't talk about on tour for tour life is that it's a revolving door. People come, people go. And if you have an open-ended contract and you're somebody that plans to be on a tour for a long time, you're gonna deal with a level of grief. That was something that people did not explain to me, that you're gonna make friends, you're gonna make family on the road, and they're not gonna be with you forever. And that's okay, because people have to make decisions for themselves. Life goes on. It's just what life is. But for someone that creates deep connections with people, it can be pretty tough to kind of like separate. So I think that's something that I wish people would have told me. And I'm really glad I was able to get Paul to chime in, because he gave me so much advice walking into this. He helped me have more fun. I was all about work. I was all about getting the job done because I'm such a perfectionist. And my mentor, Joe Delude, who you'll see next, he really ushered me into this Broadway career, and I just wanted to make him proud. So I was working, and I didn't take time to smell the roses. And Paul always got me out and always helped me have fun, and until I was able to do it on my own, you know? So that's a really special thing about tour. Number 2, the instability. The instability of tour life. You could imagine how unstable it may feel going from city to city. It feels that way 10 times more when you're actually in it. But instability is not a bad thing. And I know that sounds crazy, But because my life is on a constant move, right? I have been able to create a constant in my life as far as what my routines look like. What does my travel day routine look like? What does my day away routine look like? What is a day where I have a work call? What does that look like? Because there are days that I will have a work call and then a break, and then I have to then go into work to do an actual show. And if you want to know more about theater terminology, let me know in the comments and I'll do a whole video on it. If I get comments about that, then we're definitely going to do a video on that. But traveling every few weeks created this constant in my life that I don't know I had before. Because when I was working in television, and doing advertising and doing photo shoots and all of those things, it was like, I have a job here, I have a job there, I have this, I have that. But with this, even though I'm moving around all the time, my home may not be a constant, or whatever we want to call home. But my schedule is a constant, which then I can create routines around what I know is going to happen. So routines like, what do I do when I get home after work? I know for me, and I can do a whole video on what my nighttime and what my daytime routine is when I get home from the theater, or when I wake up and get ready before the theater. Let me know in the comments if you want to get ready with me while I prepare for the theater. So what's really dope is that, like, if you create your own flow, the instability of moving around can feel lesser. And I have my mentor and my dear friend, Joe Delude II, here to...
Hi, my name is Joe Delude II.
Hold on. I have my friend, Joe Delude II, who is going to share some stuff that he let me know when I was coming in, because I asked questions, how to make my life just feel better being on the road.
Hi, my name is Joe Delude II. I am a makeup designer for Broadway and television, and also a makeup artist for film and TV, and an educator. My Instagram is Delude2, that's D-U-L-U-D-E, and the number 2. Something that I wish that I had known before I went on tour was that to create a space for myself that felt like home. You're not at home a lot, and it is very difficult sometimes to be in the spaces that you're in. So, you know, bringing my kitchenware, candles, pictures, all of that stuff that I could have there that sort of made me feel like I was at my own home was really, really important. And I didn't really realize that until a couple of years in. And what a difference that it made to have these things with me.
Yes, Joe. Joe gave me that advice and it changed everything for me. Listen, I don't care if I'm in a hotel room, it feels like home. I have a pillow that I travel. I have my robe that just like makes me feel all nice and cozy. I even do this. I travel with fabric. Different lace fabric. This is one of my favorites. I got this in Philly at a fabric store. I will drape this over a lamp. I will drape this over a table. I will use it as a spread to add decor on my bed. I will even wear it as a veil because I'm just extra like that. But this serves for so many things. And when I put this on a lamp, it changes the game. It changes the game. It makes me feel like I have created a vibe and I have created a home. This whole life on tour has shown me that home is not an address. Home is a vibe. Home is your heart. What's your heart vibe? Because that's what home gonna feel like. And the fact that I can make home anywhere, I believe is a characteristic that is going to serve me so well when, especially during the time when like I am a wife and I am a mother. It is going to serve me in so many different areas of my life. It serves me now at work. I make home at work. So this bit of advice was something that just like changed the game for me. Number 3. Okay. All right. So you want to be a makeup artist. You want to do makeup in theater. Just know that if you are a makeup artist in theater, you will either need to know how to do hair also, or there won't be many opportunities to be in a department doing makeup only. And if there is, 9 times out of 10, you will be a department of 1. You will manage a local when you get to a city. And when I say a local, that is someone who is local to the area that helps us run the show, right? And so that would be another makeup artist that is able to assist me, that I would have to teach my track, that I would have to like just make sure they're able to do enough to be able to assist in running the makeup department. So theater is a really great place to be a teacher. It is a part of the job. Teaching is a part of the job. Every first week that we are in a city, crew is teaching local crew the show. And because I'm on a show that has been running for so many years, sometimes you get lucky with people that have ran the show before, but most times you are teaching someone that is brand new and does not know anything about the show. And so for me, working as a department of 1, in most cases, I have had to learn how to manage myself. People think being a department of 1 is easier than managing multiple people. And I don't think one or the other is easier than, because I've been on shows where I've had to manage teams, right? And even when I have like big things with work, like, so say when I was on Beetlejuice and we had a big B-roll call, I'll call in other makeup artists and I manage a team then. Or when I was in New York, setting up The Outsiders. As a makeup designer, I am managing my team. So I'm not exempt from managing a team of artists, but that is not what my day-to-day looks like. What my day-to-day looks like is that I have to manage myself. So that means, what time do I have to be to work? What extra things do I need to do, and when do I need to do it? How do I have to manage my time with shopping for my cast, for all of the makeup needs of the department? How do I make time for extra things that might arise that I have to make sure get done so that we can have a productive show in the makeup department, right? But also, how am I managing my time outside of the theater so that not only am I doing my job well, but that I am still having a high quality life? Because having an experience like this can quickly turn into your quality of living going down because you're not aware of how it's affecting you. So I manage my life in a way that when I know there's a city coming up, I prepare for the city. We manage our housing. Even though they book our housing, we do have opportunities to do, if you have the time, you can book your own stuff. And so that can also elevate the level of your quality of life. And I brought one of my friends along. I have Bree. She is actually one of my swings, another Black woman. I love her to death. And she had a quick tip in accordance to this subject right here for number 3. And I'm going to share that with y'all right now.
Hi there, my name is Friendrisha Bree Hall. I am a makeup artist and hairstylist for touring Broadway shows, as well as a hair and makeup designer for operas and a makeup artist for film and television. I wish that someone would have told me before touring that it's important to do a little reconnaissance before you get to a city, and also get to know your locals. With that recon that you've done, you can confirm things with your locals, because they are going to be your aficionados on all things in that city, and they'll tell you all the good places to go, what's still hot, what's not, what's still safe and what's not, and all the new things that you probably don't have a pulse on just yet. And it's also okay to indulge in bad things, but also very, very good to indulge in really, really healthy things as far as lifestyle and foods when you're on tour, because we are here for balance and we are here to do this for as long as possible. So respect your body and always do good things and bad things. Peace.
Respect your body. You heard? Respect your body. Respect your body. Respect your body. Like, that is the biggest takeaway. There have been times that I have been completely and utterly exhausted because I was not eating right, I was not sleeping right, and I wasn't doing all of the things. One of the things that helped me respect my body and helped me really hone in on what it is that, like, I need for me to operate at maximum was the Whoop 4.0. And I could do a whole video on what the Whoop has taught me. Put in the comments if you want to know more about how I use the Whoop in musical theater as a makeup artist, as somebody in the crew that has a very heavy track. That's some more terminology that I'm using for you. I don't want this video to go too long. So if there are things that you want to know that I mentioned in this video, please ask in the comments and I will make sure I make a whole dedicated video for that. But knowing when I'm getting good sleep, knowing if I'm not recovering well, all of those things were very helpful for me to know if it is the city that I'm in that I have to get adjusted to, if it's the weather that I have to get adjusted to, or if it's my lifestyle choices that I have to change. And a year and a half later, I have made so many adjustments and shifts and changes that have literally saved my life, changed my life, and elevated my life. And so the question that I posed at the beginning is, would I do this again? Well, I was taking a walk home from the theater, and this is what I had to say in response to that question. All right, you made it to the end of the video. I'm walking home from the theater, and I said I would answer the question, if I had the opportunity to choose this life all over again, would I? And I absolutely would. With all the pros and the cons, with all the cons that I mentioned, with all the things, as you can see, there's a silver lining on the other side. There's so much to gain from an experience of being with a theater touring company, with long sit downs and being able to explore different cities. It's just different. My life has opened up in a way that I never thought could happen. I didn't think that this was even possible. I always thought that if I was gonna go on tour, it was gonna be like when you go on tour with Beyonce and you got one-nighters and two-nighters. And I've been really blessed and really lucky. Not everybody gets an opportunity like this. So if an opportunity like this drops in your lap, I say, why not? Nothing's permanent. You can always change your mind. Go out and explore the world. And if you can go out and explore the world and get paid for it, that's a no-brainer to me. It's a beautiful night in Grand Rapids. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video was helpful. If it was, put a like. Consider it. Consider subscribing. I'm happy you are here. See ya.